Hello everyone, today is the day. Today is Wednesday, September 16, and that's registration day for BSSM, Bethel School of Supernatural Ministry. I've been waiting for this day since I got my acceptance letter back in January, so it's been quite a while, a lot of waiting. I just finished registration. I just want to talk a little bit about what happened. So got in line, and I was standing in line. It's like hundreds of people. It's crazy. I wasn't expecting that many. And so as I'm waiting in line to go up to the desk to, get all my things checked off, I see this person just kind of like standing over there in the distance, just kind of like staring at me. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. And I just try to like avoid eye contact because I'm like, I don't know that person. And I thought maybe they were just kind of zoning out and happened to be looking in my direction, but I wasn't sure, so I didn't want to like look at them funny. But anyways, then they started like walking towards me, and I'm like, like trying to like not look at them and just look straight ahead because I'm just awkward, And then like before I know it, they're standing like right here, and they're just like staring at me, and I'm like. So eventually I'm like forced to look at them because like at this point it's not a coincidence. Like it's not an accident that they're like looking in my general direction. They're looking at me. So I'm just like, hi. And they're just standing there like looking at me. And it's this girl, and she's like, I'm sorry. I just have something to tell you. And I was like, okay. I'm like, I don't know you. Is something wrong? Like she had a badge on. So I was like, am I like doing something I shouldn't be doing? Am I in the wrong line? Like, I don't know. Anyway, so she's like, I just feel God saying that, hold on, let me make sure I get this right. She said two things, that she just sees a creativity in me that's going to blossom while I'm here at BSSM. And she specifically brought up painting. And I was like, how did she know that? Like, that's crazy. Like, when I was in high school, art was my favorite subject. And I loved painting. Painting was like my favorite thing. It's like where I really felt like my creativity come alive. And like drawing is cool, and like, clay is cool, and like different mediums, but painting was always my favorite. And, adulting life happened, and I haven't really had much time to paint or do anything really creative for a while because of like working and trying to pay bills. But, as I was packing up the car with everything I needed to come to BSSM, I didn't have a lot of space. I had to fit everything that I needed in the back hatchback of my Prius, along with 2 dogs, a cat, a litter box, a bike, 6 houseplants, me and my dad. So the fact that I managed to fit all that stuff in the back of my Prius was a miracle in and of itself. But because of that, I wasn't able to like bring everything that I wanted to. But so as I was packing, like I was looking at my craft supplies and looking at my paint and my canvases, and I was like, I don't have space for this. I can just, I'll be fine. I haven't really even painted for like years anyway, so I don't need to bring that. But I just felt like this nudge, like telling me like, no, Grace, you need to bring this. And I was like, but I'm not gonna have space. Like if I bring this, that means I can't bring something else that I actually will need, but like the feeling was just really strong. And so like I made space, probably means I didn't bring a couple extra pair of shoes that I wanted so I could make space for my canvases and my paints, my paintbrushes. And I brought it, and I was like, okay, well, whatever. And so the fact that she said that she says that she really sees this time where like my creativity is going to blossom, that God's going to use my painting to talk to me and to hear his voice. I was like, whoa, how did she know that? That's so weird. And then second after that, she says that she sees a lion, that she sees me as a lion. And that, what did she say? That this year God's going to show me how to be bold like a lion, because I've been kind of not been able to step into my boldness, and that I'm going to be finding my voice, like my lion's roar. And she said she doesn't know why she pictured a lion, but that's what came to mind. And I was like, that's really interesting because lions are my favorite animal, number 1. Number 2, I have a stuffed lion named Lenny the lion, that I've had since I was like 13 years old, that I sleep with every night. Actually, let me just, 1 second. Sorry, this is him, to prove that I'm not lying or making it up. This is Lenny the lion. He's one of my buddies. He goes with me everywhere. Yes, I know, I'm an adult, but that's okay. Yeah, and it's funny because I had one of my favorite paintings that I ever did was a painting of a lion. And so just the two things, the painting and the lion thing that she said was like, really amazing to me. Oh, sorry, that's my dog in the background. What's really amazing to me, especially because I do feel like boldness is something that I have been wanting more of, kind of like permission to use my voice, like the lion's roar that she mentioned. So that was really on point. I thought that was really amazing that she said those things to me. And so that kind of like set the stage and the mood for me, like entering through this whole registration process and feeling like, wow, you know, I didn't make a mistake coming here. I had a lot of opposition to me coming here. A lot of people saying that they felt like it was a mistake and that I'm entering into like a weird heathen cult or something. And just that she said that was like kind of confirmation to me that like God sees me, God hears me, and that this was what I was supposed to do. I'm officially a registered first-year BSSM student now. I got my fancy BSSM binder with my name, and it's complete with a Bible homework tab. So these are all the chapters of the Bible that we're supposed to be reading throughout the year. There's a grasping God's word section. I think this is like a just assignments talking about the Bible. This is a possible assignments page where you read it and then like answer the questions. Book reports, these are all the books that we're going to be reading over the year, so that's several. Fortunately, I love to read. The first one is When Heaven Invades the Earth. That's our book report that's due on the 22nd. That's right here, that they assigned reading over the summer by Bill Johnson. And I just want to read like a quote that is like super awesome. One of the quotes that I have underlined right there says, grace comes with an inbuilt ability to obey what was commanded. And like that doesn't really sound like such a great quote on the surface, but let me read it again. Grace, like God's grace, not me, God's grace, comes with an inbuilt ability to obey what was commanded. And that sentence really spoke out to me because a lot of times I feel like people think that grace is kind of like a free pass, like it's an enabling thing to be like, oh, well, I did this bad thing, but God has grace for me and he'll forgive me, so it's not that big of a deal, right? So people use grace as an enabler for their bad behavior, for their sin, right? But this is saying like that's not what grace is about. Grace isn't about enabling, grace is about empowering. So it's not like grace isn't the excuse to do wrong. Grace actually gives you the ability to do right. Like, it's not just a, hey, you better do right or else. It's grace literally gives you that ability to do it. Like God's grace doesn't just forgive you, but he empowers you to do the right thing. And that was really awesome. I think that's really cool. So I'll be doing a book report on this book due on the 22nd. This is another book that they gave us today. It's called Defining Moments by Bill Johnson. We're going to be reading this throughout the year and having different assignments based on different chapters. So super excited. They gave us this with our folder today. And then I got to meet my revival group pastor and team. Her name is Hannah Babarskis. Basically, every student is assigned a revival group. Each group has like 60 students in it, and the main pastor, and then she has like her associate like pastors who are our mentors. They're usually third-year students. So this is a picture of everyone that's going to be the staff or leadership in my revival group. So that right there is Hannah, and the rest of these are all the other mentors. So that's exciting. Here's kind of a better picture of everyone. So I'm excited to meet them. It was really cool. We got to meet everyone. There was a beautiful like welcoming party when we finished registration, and Hannah prayed over me. She prayed over every student that she met, and really touching. Some of the things she said, like, I already started tearing up, and it's not even like, well, I guess it is day one, but registration doesn't really count because it's not really classes. But like, I was already crying, and they already had to get out the Kleenex box because of the stuff that she was saying. Super meaningful. And then they gave us a little bag with some goodies in it and a cookie or whatever, and like each one had a little note. Like, it wasn't meant specifically for me. It was just random goodie bags and you just get one. So there was no telling like which note I was going to get. And I saw like that they all were different and said different things. So I just wanted to read what mine said because like I feel like this definitely spoke to me where I am. It says, joy is your prize this year. The way it comes may surprise you. Joy will be your fuel this year. And it's just interesting that I got this one as opposed to like any other note, because I feel like this is something that God has been saying to me for past couple months, is about joy. Because I could use some joy in my life. I've had a lot of stress and anxiety and worry. And I just have felt like God's been trying to tell me, like, it's okay to let that go and to just trust him with it, instead of trying to make, handle everything and control everything myself, and just take that load off and just rest in him, and receive his joy. And that's like a theme that keeps coming up. And so when I read this, I was like, okay, God, like, I hear you, I'm listening. Yeah, so like joy is your prize this year. And like, that's one of the main things I feel like I'm going to get out of BSSM. A lot of people ask me, like, what do you hope to get out of going there? Because a lot of people are confused about my decision to come here. And it's kind of hard to explain, because like when people ask me that question, I'm not really sure what to say, because I don't really know. Like, all I know is that I had this strong urge to come, and I didn't exactly know why, which, I guess is a good place to be, because I guess I'm learning to like really hear and listen and obey God's voice without really knowing why exactly. But one of the two things that I felt that like are really something that I'm going to tap into this year is joy and intimacy with God. Those two are the main things. And so like this was really like a confirmation to me, because anyone could have gotten this, like, and they all of the notes were different. Joy is your prize this year. The way it comes may surprise you. Joy will be your fuel this year. And I've just been like so tired. I just graduated with my nurse practitioner degree in May, and that was exhausting. And this whole pandemic thing is exhausting. And, the stress of like trying to pack up my life and start over in like Redding, California, and, managing everything back home and finding the finances to come here has just like wiped me out. Like, so I could really use some joy to fuel me. So anyways, this has been day 1 for me. I'm excited to see what else may come. I will keep you all updated on how it goes. Yeah, and that is it.